Do this to change an avoidant for good. When you're in a relationship with an avoidant, it can feel like trying to hold on to smoke. One moment they're close, affectionate, and maybe even giving you hope that the relationship is deepening. The next moment, they pull back, become distant, and leave you questioning everything. You start to wonder, do they even care? Am I doing something wrong? Or are they just not capable of change? The truth is, avoidance can change. But the change doesn't come from pleading, chasing, or trying harder. It comes from a very specific shift that you must create, one that alters how they view you, themselves, and love itself. If you want to change an avoidant for good, you need to stop playing by the rules of fear and start leading them into a space of safety, respect, and deep attraction. The first thing you need to understand is this: avoidants don't pull away because they don't care. They pull away because closeness triggers their deepest fear: losing control, being smothered, or becoming vulnerable in a way that feels unsafe. Their survival strategy is distance. So if you want to change them, you cannot do it by chasing them into closeness. That only activates their fears. The way to change an avoidant is to show them that intimacy is not a threat, but a choice. And to do that, you have to stop proving yourself and start embodying strength and security. Avoidants only change when they realize you are different from everyone who came before. Someone who won't trap them, but also won't tolerate being taken for granted. The second step is mastering emotional self-control. Avoidants expect others to overreact when they withdraw. They're used to partners panicking, begging, or becoming angry when they create distance. But when you respond with calmness, groundedness, and independence, you completely rewrite their script. Imagine they pull away for a few days, and instead of flooding them with messages, you continue living your life, centered and unbothered. That shocks them. It challenges their expectation that closeness equals chaos. Slowly, they start to associate you with safety, not pressure. And that shift is the foundation of lasting change. But self-control doesn't mean emotional coldness. If you want to change an avoidant for good, you must learn the art of vulnerable strength. This means being open about your feelings without making them responsible for fixing you. You might say, I really value closeness, and sometimes when you withdraw, it feels confusing for me. But I also respect your space. That balance, honesty without neediness, is rare, and it makes an avoidant stop and think. For the first time, they see vulnerability as something powerful, not suffocating. This gradually retrains them to associate intimacy with growth instead of fear. Another crucial step is setting clear boundaries. Many people with avoidance believe that unconditional patience is the key to keeping them. But patience without boundaries only enables avoidance. If you want them to change, you must show that your needs matter too. When they pull away for too long or shut down during important conversations, you calmly but firmly set limits. For example, I understand you need space, but I also need communication. If we can't talk through things, this won't work. Boundaries do two things for an avoidant. They create respect and they create clarity. They realize you are not afraid to walk away, which makes them take closeness more seriously. Without boundaries, there is no change, only repetition. Now here's something most people overlook. Avoidants secretly crave admiration. They don't want to feel trapped, but they do want to feel valued. If you want to change them for good, stop pouring all your energy into proving your loyalty. Instead, build a life that excites you. Have passions, friendships, goals, and a strong identity outside of them. Show them that being with you is not about losing freedom, but about joining someone whose life is vibrant and inspiring. When they see that you can thrive without them, they begin to lean in, not because you asked, but because they don't want to lose someone extraordinary. Change also requires creating moments of intimacy that feel safe. Instead of forcing heavy conversations or constant closeness, sprinkle in small, consistent gestures that build trust. A gentle touch, a moment of laughter, a calm talk over coffee. These things matter more than dramatic heart-to-hearts. Avoidants are like people learning to swim. They need to wade into intimacy gradually. If you keep the moments light, steady, and consistent, you'll find that over time, their capacity for closeness grows. They stop running from intimacy and start running toward it, because with you, it feels safe. One of the deepest triggers for an avoidant is the fear of dependency. They resist closeness because they fear becoming reliant on someone who might hurt them. To change this fear, you must model what healthy interdependence looks like. That means showing them that two people can rely on each other without losing themselves. For example, you demonstrate responsibility for your own emotions while also being there for theirs. You show them that needing someone is not weakness, it's part of being human. Over time, this dismantles their inner story that closeness equals danger. A big mistake people make is thinking they can lecture or persuade an avoidant into change. Change never comes from words alone. It comes from experience. You can explain attachment theory all you want, but unless they feel something different with you, their defenses won't lower. That's why your behavior matters more than your arguments. Each time you stay calm instead of chasing, each time you set a boundary instead of overgiving, each time you show love without pressure, you are rewiring their nervous system. You are teaching them silently that love doesn't have to hurt. Now let's talk about the most powerful lever of change, your willingness to walk away. Avoidants only respect what they cannot control. If they sense that you will always be there no matter how distant they become, they have no incentive to grow. But when they realize you love them deeply, yet you're strong enough to leave if they don't step up, it awakens something inside them. It forces them to confront their biggest fear, not intimacy, but losing someone who makes intimacy feel safe. That realization often becomes a turning point where an avoidant begins to choose closeness instead of avoiding it. But here's the part most people don't want to hear. Changing an avoidant doesn't happen overnight. It's not a magic trick or a quick fix. It's a process of consistent behavior, steady boundaries, and emotional maturity. They need to experience a new pattern long enough for their brain to rewrite old scripts. If you expect instant results, you'll be disappointed. But if you're patient and grounded, you'll see gradual shifts, less withdrawal, more communication, more willingness to stay present. Over time, these shifts add up to permanent change. And remember, not every avoidant will change. Some are too deeply rooted in their defenses or unwilling to do the inner work required. That's why your role is not to save them, but to embody the kind of strength that gives them the opportunity to change. If they rise to meet you, you'll have a partner who values you for life. If they don't, you'll still walk away with your power intact, knowing you never lost yourself in the process. Either way, you win. Finally, understand this. The goal is not to fix an avoidant. The goal is to create a relationship where both of you feel safe, respected, and free. If you do the things we've talked about, emotional control, vulnerable strength, strong boundaries, inspiring independence, and the willingness to walk away, you'll not only change how the avoidant sees love, you'll change how you see yourself. And that, more than anything, is what creates lasting transformation. So if you want to change an avoidant for good, stop chasing, stop begging, stop losing yourself in their patterns. Instead, lead with strength, respect, and calm independence. Create an environment where intimacy feels like choice, not captivity. That's when their walls fall. That's when they change for good. And that's when you'll finally experience the love you deserve. Not one built on fear, but one built on freedom and trust.